If you do go on to enjoy today's video, do me a favour and hit that like button and of course subscribe. It really does help me out a lot. And if you want to avoid the random lottery that is FIFA points, you can go straight to the source with u7buy.com. And of course you can use the code TVM at the checkout to get yourself a discount. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to look at a few things. So they've released new players being added to the game. We'll flick through that very briefly because there's only really one or two that you're going to recognise. Skill move and weak foot upgrades, decent, but again, not too many players in there. Like Jordan Henderson's not been included in there. That doesn't make much sense to me. But there are loads of other players that they've just missed out. And they've included some decent ones, fair play, but still. And of course, the players that are getting upgraded. This is a list of top 50, which is interesting. That being said, Future Stars is done. They released one thing, and it was a pack. It was a small Prime Electrum or something of that nature. Tradable, well done. You could complete it with silver players, which is good, I suppose. However, that's it. To end the promo, not a player, not a guaranteed SBC pack, which in my opinion they should start doing untradeable, of course, one time only, non-repeatable. However, they didn't do anything like that. They just said, have a really mediocre pack and be done with it. Come back tomorrow for a brand new promo. That is upsetting to me, but you know, I don't want to complain too much because it's about to get complainy, I'm sure. So this is the top 50. Now, from what I'm reading, it's not the complete list. It's not every player that will get an upgrade, but it is the best players. These are the upper echelon of players that will get upgraded, right? So we've got a few Premier League in there to mention. Daniel James of Manchester United. I'm sure many people expected that to happen. It's going to. That could potentially boost that Future Stars 86 to an 87 or higher, depending on what the upgrade is. We've got the Leicester centre-back, Soyuncu. I can never say that guy's name. Again, wait, not again. I read the guy underneath. So yeah, I don't know what he'll go to. I would have hoped maybe something like an 82, 83, but we'll have to wait and see. Just before we get into that, it says, this is the list of players that will be upgraded as part of the Winter Refresh on February the 14th at 6 PM. That is tomorrow. So they are going to do Winter Refresh tomorrow, which should also trigger ones to watch. We should probably get Team of the Week upgrade packs at some point during the week as well. And anything else that they decide to throw out there. We might get some as objectives. We may get some SBCs. But then again, it's EA, so we may get nothing. We'll have to wait and see. This year, the focus is on players who have had the biggest upgrades, +3 overall or higher. So are we saying that these are the only ones, or are we saying that these are just the top? I'm confused. This year, the focus is on players who have had the biggest upgrades, +3 overall or higher. I have no idea what they're talking about, so I'm guessing from what they're saying that every single one of these players on the list will go up by +3, bare minimum, which is very exciting for people who hold the 84 Jack Grealish, by the way, because that's going up. But yeah, I don't know. I've got no idea. Either way, I digress. Let's talk about the players. So Daniel James, I would have gathered then that if he's going to go up by, if he's going to go to a gold, the 86 should in theory go up maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Soyuncu could go to an 83. Tomori has a Future Stars card. That could potentially go up, although it might be a little bit of a stretch. We've got Mason Mount. Fair enough. We've got, I tell you what, right, and I'm not just saying it because I'm a Liverpool fan, although I kind of am. There are no Liverpool players there, and it is one of the best teams, not Liverpool teams, one of the best teams to ever grace the Premier League, and there isn't one player there who's going up by a +3. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of someone who could potentially go up by a +3. I mean, someone like Curtis Jones, he didn't get a Future Stars card, which was a criminal in itself. In my opinion, he deserves to go up by +3, at least. Half of the Liverpool under-23s deserve to. So it's a bit of a weird one that they're not there, but I digress. I'm not going to be too one-sided about it. Buendia going up, deservedly so. Tim Krul is an interesting one. Adama Traore, if you've got that headliner card, time to start rubbing your hands together because he's about to go up and potentially by 3 overall as well. Mad. James Maddison, again, if you've got that headliner, time to start rubbing your hands together, because again, he could go up. We've got Ender Stevens, Ender Stevens, that makes sense. Big John as well from Sheffield United, and of course Jack Grealish. Those are the only Premier League players to note, which is interesting because there are players there who, in my opinion, could have had a bigger boost, and more players could have been boosted. Now, I don't know whether this is the full list from every league, but it's confusing. I'm not really sure. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on. French League. I'm only going to mention the ones that I really care about there. So, Slimani's going up, and I don't really care about Slimani, but he deserves to because he's had a good season. Osimhen is going up for Lille, and deservedly so, although I will say he has 100% dropped off in the last few weeks. He had a cracking start to the season, and he was flying, and then Lille just sort of slumped into this, whatever it is. I think they're still fourth, to be fair, but still. Anyway, let's move on to Johan Court, if you're interested. Into the Bundesliga we go. We've obviously got Haaland, understandably so, really. I mean, he's joined Dortmund and become one of the top goal scorers. It makes sense. Just seen a player that's really, really exciting. 2 players that have really excited me. 3 potentially. Marcus Thuram of Gladbach, and Benez as well. He isn't really a player that I'm sure many people will know of or care about. But the Marcus Thuram, he's got 2 informs, so they could potentially go up in rating. Timo Werner is an extremely interesting one because it says minimum of a +3 upgrade from what I've read at the top. You read it. That's where I'm getting from it. If that's the case, then his 83 rated base card goes to an 86. Now, I'm not 100% certain I was comparing Ramos earlier. You may have known it if you saw the video. So Timo Werner is now all of a sudden becoming a really popular card to search. So 83, that's going to go to an 86, which means that should go to an 88, maybe. That will go to an 89. That player of the month, I'm not sure. I'm guessing that will go up as well. That goes to a 90. That card, the 89 rated player of the month, I think goes to a 92. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the way it works. It kind of has to, really. The stats will 100% overlap each other. That's the way it works. So if an 83 rated Timo Werner goes up to an 86, what determines whether the next card gets upgraded? If the card goes above it in overall, so for instance in this case it does, the 86 base will then overtake the 85 inform. That will go up again, I'm guessing by the amount that it got upgraded by. So, I mean, bare minimum, Werner is going, that top-end Werner, the player of the month, which I still think is available as an SBC, that is going up bare minimum to a 91, if not a 92. That's mad, because that's going to be an insane card. That is going to be an absolutely mental card. He also has a headliner as well, of course. That will probably go up to a 90, which is still going to be beneath the top-end player of the month. It's a lot to take in. But, I mean, look, that's the card as it stands. But imagine a +3 on everything. Forget about it. That is going to be insane. So let's move on. Zachariah Harrit. Good player in real life, actually. So where are we? Here we are. Good player in real life. He has a player of the month as well, actually. So that could potentially go up. Augsburg striker. We've got Diaby of Bayer Leverkusen. I think he's the one with the future stars, the youngster. Left mid, is he? Hakimi is going up. So those of you who hold the UCL card, for an 82 right mid, I think he is. He may very well go up as well. I can't remember what the base card is on him, to be fair. Onana, the goalkeeper, he's going up to an 85, 86? I can't remember what the base is. I think the base is an 82, so it could be going up to an 85. I mean, it says +3. They might be going up to even more than that. I just don't know. Demiral is going up, deservedly so. This is what I'm really excited about, though. Lautaro Martinez. He has several cards. Now, I don't know whether they gave him... Did they give him a headliner? No, they gave him a future stars, which I think might just be too much of a stretch to go up. So let's have a look at this card. Now, this is the one that I'm interested in because you can currently buy it for about 45k, which is a good deal. although he does have a 92, but that's 1.5 million. So that card, theoretically, should go... I mean, his 81 will go to an 84. That will go to at least an 86, if not an 87, meaning that this 86 should go up to an 88, maybe even an 89, which is quite close then to the Future Stars card, incidentally. So, I mean, that is going to be an insane upgrade. What's the stats difference there? I tell you what, right, even if that Martinez card goes up by 2 to an 88, if you take away, like you can see the stats there, he's +6, +6, this, that, and the other. If you take away 2, possibly 3 in places, all of a sudden, that card that you're looking at there, the Future Stars, it's 1.5, 1.6, but then all of a sudden, you've got this card that's like 3 or 4 ratings beneath him, that is only 3 or 4 upgrades in stats, or downgrades in stats. Picking him up now for 45k is an absolute bargain. Even if he went to an 87, that's still a great deal. I mean... yeah, that's banging. Let's continue. Zaniolo deservedly gets an upgrade and is out for the rest of the season injured. So I would have thought maybe, quite possibly, but maybe not at the same time, his Future Stars card could get upgraded, but I'm not sure how that works. Anyone else worth talking about? Wow. So there are a lot of Spanish League players here. So Martin Odegaard is going up. He has a Future Stars card. And, think about it as well. Of course the Future Stars cards are going to go up because they will end up overlapping each other because of the way that they were upgraded. So, for instance, Zaniolo has a 75 rated base card. Well, his actual base Future Stars card. So his actual... I mean, this is very confusing stuff here, right? And if you're not following me, I do apologise. But look how many cards Zaniolo has, right? So... he's got a 77. So his base card is a 74. Imagine his new base is a 77 rated gold card. That means that will go up to an 80. That will go to 83. That will go to 84. That go to 86. That goes to 89. And all of a sudden, the 86 rated player that you've been grinding for is 3 overall better. Even if I got that wrong and you only end up going by 1 or 2, still an improvement over what you have. But because of these upgrades, they're actually helping. They're stepping stones. They are helping the cards upgrade because they will overlap each other in stats, meaning they have to be pushed up. So, for the likes of Martin Odegaard, whose base card in the game... I mean, if I'm getting all this wrong... I'm sorry, but I've been around long enough to know that this is how it works, or at least how it used to work. I'm guessing it's going to be the same way. So his base is a 78. So assuming he goes to 81, that gets boosted. Then that does. Then so on and so forth. And that 87 rated card could now all of a sudden become 90. Do you know what I mean? There is massive potential here for cards that you already own to be massively upgraded. You won't need to buy new versions of them if you hold the special item, only if you want the base version. So if you have a 78 Martin Odegaard base gold card, that won't go up. You'll have to buy a new one. But if you hold the 87, that's likely to go up. Now, other players worth mentioning then from the Spanish league. Anything at all. Real Madrid's Valverde, if that's how you don't say his name, then yeah, he's going up. Real Betis Emerson, he of course had a very low rated Future Stars card and he was about 100k at one point. I'd imagine he's a lot more than that now because it's likely that he will go up in rating. And there aren't really that many people there from the Spanish league that I'm sure many of you care about. Alexander Isaac is an interesting addition because he's been playing very, very well the last couple of weeks. Before that, he was doing okay, but the last few weeks in particular, rockets. But yeah, that's a list. Very, very, extremely, unbelievably quickly. If we go over to the forum and we go to Weak Foot and we go to player additions, just very briefly, I don't spend too long on this. In terms of the top, I'll put all the links to these in the description if you want to go look at them at your own sort of perusal speed. Liverpool's Roberto Firmino going from a 4-star skill move to a 5-star skill move, deservedly so. Ajax at the moment, Ziyech is going to 5-star skills. Levante player in there. And a Werder Bremen player in there, Rashika. I didn't notice that first time around, going to a 4-star. And Nkunku going to 4-star, which is nice. You've got a few other players dotted around the place, like Buendia, for instance, going to 4-star. So there's a full list there. There aren't that many players getting upgraded that are quote-unquote usable. EA have done a very good job of going through the, again, quote-unquote minor leagues, the SPFL and the Portuguese League, and even to an extent the Colombian League, the Romanian League, the Belgian League, so on and so forth. I know they're not minor leagues, but you know what I mean, they're not the top 5. So they've done a very good job indeed of going around nearly every single team and picking out a player to upgrade from a certain skill move rating to a new one. It's the same with the weak foot situation as well. You've got to scroll down on this to get to the weak foot. So as you can see, top of the list is going to be Luc de Jong from 3-star to 5-star. An Antwerp player there going from 4 to 5. Stade Reims player going from 4 to 5. Feyenoord player going from 3 to 5. There's quite a few 5-star upgrades, to be fair. Again, not too many from clubs that you'd probably be using, but still, if you're a fan of those, you'll be very happy about it. De Thomas of Benfica, for instance, from 3 to 4. Not the best of cards in the game anyway, to be fair, but still. Jonathan Bamba going from 3 to 4. How he's even remotely on any list this season is beyond me. He's been absolutely dreadful since like the first 2 weeks of the season. But still, you know, the full list is there for you. And of course, we are getting additions to the database. Now, I'm not going to spend too long on this because there aren't that many players through it that I would say that I'm super excited about, and I'm sure that you probably won't be either. Brandon Williams of Manchester United is being added. There are obviously loads. If you support any of these teams, I apologise. But one big notable one is Frank Ribery is coming back to the game. Of course, he plays for Fiorentina. He's going to be 82 rated. All these players are in the database already. They're not available till the 16th, but they are in the database. And another player worth mentioning down here is... he was without a club for a long time. Actually, before we get to him, let's talk about Fati of Barcelona. So he's the next big thing. Unfortunately, he's going to be a 70-odd rated card. He's not going to be good or usable in the game outside of a bit of a laugh. It's a shame that EA haven't, decided to give him a bit of a boost, but it is what it is. And Daniel Sturridge down there as well. He's going to be 78 rated. Emmanuel Adebayor coming back to the game as well. Rami coming back to the game. There's quite a few players in here that, you might be like, oh, I'm glad to see him back, or I support that club, it's good to see him in the game. But I just don't think there's going to be anyone like, oh, wow, right, he's going to be super usable, we need to get him now. But I digress. Huge list of players, well, 50 players at least, getting upgrades. Some really nice ones on there. Some questionable people missing as well, so some swings and roundabouts. As far as tomorrow's 6 o'clock is concerned, of course, we will learn a lot more from it, though. Let me know in the comment section, is there a player on that list that is also linked in the description that you are super excited to pick up? I know full well I'm going to go complete a few SBCs now for players who will get an upgrade on the off chance they get boosted and player prices start to rise quite considerably, especially when that Werner is concerned. If you have enjoyed today's video, then do me a favour and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index, the game changed. Download the app now.